Hey, natural born sisters. Welcome to another episode of Kinky in the Kitchen, where every swirl, curl, coil, and wave is celebrated. You'll hear inspiring stories from women who have left straight hair, wigs, and weaves behind, despite the discrimination and bias, to reclaim their power by rocking their natural hair. Be it spiraled, kinky, defined, or straight. Whether you're already a natural sister or still finding the courage to unleash your beautiful coils, you're not alone, and you're in the right place. Let's get to know your host. She's passionate about inspiring Black women to rock their natural hair with confidence, teaching our Black natural hair-wearing women how to show up despite hair discrimination and biases. She's natural like you and rocks her kinks in the kitchen loud and proud. She's Lisa E., aka Natural Born Sister.
What's up, Natural Born Sisters? It's your girl Lisa E., aka Natural Born Sister, aka Living My Best Life. Welcome to the Kinky in the Kitchen podcast, the show that highlights Black women who are rocking their natural hair with confidence despite discrimination and bias. Last week I talked to natural born sister Katisha Filbert. Now this sister was really fun to talk to. She gave me realness and fun all wrapped up in one. She talked about the stigma she suffered with her own people and how she used products in her kitchen to take care of and to style her natural hair due to products being expensive on the island of Grenada, where she is from. She was a force not to be reckoned with or judged and found solutions for every mishap through her natural hair journey. But my next guest wasn't ready for the world to see what she had done. She had unplanned plans for her hair you would not believe. She spoke about her struggles with going natural, her irritation of not knowing what to do with her hair, and her struggles with length. And although her struggle with length was an issue, she found the courage to chop her hair off 3 times, sis. Hear me out. 3 times. Look, I told her I could never have the guts to put scissors to my hair and to cut off 95% of it. I am most definitely not doing that, because when it comes to me, my struggle is also real. She talked about her versatility through protective styling, how she would instill in her daughter Yamari that wearing her natural hair is a part of who she will be, and how important it is for her to wear her natural hair. Now, this sister, she may think that she doesn't have it all together due to her hair struggles, but I tell you right now, she has it all together and then some. So right here, right now, I give you natural born sister, Keke Lashell. Hey Keke, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on the show. I just want to say, I know you have some support there. You have natural born sister Taylor Brianna with you. And I think that I'm so grateful for her to do this, to be there to support you. I know that was part of her coming over there. It might have been for something else, but I know that was part of it. I love that sister. So thank you. Okay, so let's start. Let's just dive right in. What did you feel the first time you learned to embrace your natural hair? Like, if you can remember, let's start on that first day.
The first day I started to embrace it, I was happy, I could say. It was some moments where I was happy, then I was like kind of sad because I was like, my hair is not doing like other people's. This style don't look right on me. I don't know if I really want the natural look. It was a lot, but I was happy. And then there was a time where I just grew into me just being natural, and I loved it.
Okay, so when was that? When was that first time? You remember?
That first time was, I would say, around 2016 through 17. Okay. That's when I started to really just love my hair. Like, I loved it. But then it's like after I got pregnant, it was like, I don't think so.
Oh, and why is that?
I deal with postpartum very badly, and I think that's another reason why. And it was just like, since then, I don't know about the natural look.
Okay.
I don't know. But I'm starting to get back to embracing it and being happy with it, because that's all I used to wear at first. So I think I just had like a moment and I just felt like I just need to start all over.
Okay. So it sounds like you had some challenging times with it. What was the most challenging thing about going natural for you?
The most challenge is taking care of me.
Okay.
That was pretty hard for me because I had to learn my hair texture, what my hair was good with, what it was not good with. I had to keep changing products and the shampoos I would use and stuff like that. And that was very hard. And plus, for me growing up, I always had protective styles in, so I really wasn't just doing what I needed to do to take care of my hair.
Right. See, I was just like you when I went natural. I wasn't comfortable at all. And I always blame it on the length of my hair because I felt
Yeah.
like if I had, it was for you too, right? I felt like if I
Yes.
had length, it wouldn't be such a bad thing.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That was a big, big thing growing
Mhm.
up. I would be so irritated or just so frustrated because I feel like, okay, I want to do the natural hair. I want to do it, but my length of my hair is just not, it's not going with me. I don't like this. It's not
Right.
me.
Right. So why do you think length played a part? Because I know for me that I just felt like you had to have long hair for it to look like something. What was it for you?
I would say the same
Say the
thing.
same, right?
And I would say my face shape. Like
Okay.
everybody would tell me, you got the face for it. You are so pretty with it. But it's like with me, I was just like, no, I'm too used to this long hair and
Yeah.
it being very long and it fit me that way. That's what I'm used to. I'm really not used to nothing short.
Right. You know, we are our biggest critics when it comes to our hair.
Yeah.
You know, especially since we're not used to wearing it out. And then when we wear it out and it's not where we want it to be, like how the comfort level is not there. First of all, you're trying to break out from wigs, weaves, straight hair, and all that. That's one thing. But then when you have to worry about length and other stuff that comes with it, it's very challenging. So I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
So before you transition, how were you wearing your hair? Did you do weaves, wigs, or anything like that?
Oh my gosh. Growing up, I started, it was so difficult for me.
Uh-huh.
But I would say when I got the chance to like started practicing on doing people hair, and
Mhm.
it could be like long braids, short braids, just anything natural with their hair. Once I started to learn how to do hair, I was like, okay. So I would just always put box braids in my hair or any new style that came out, I would put that in my hair and then it transitions from the braids to the wigs. Once I learned how to do the wigs, it was just like, okay, I never have to deal with my natural hair anymore. But now that it done got hot, it's like I can't do these wigs. So we're gonna have to figure something out with my natural hair because it's not gonna work.
Right.
It's too hot.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. Like with me, I suffer with hot flashes really bad. And I never had hot flashes never really played a part in me transitioning. It should have, because during a hot flash, I say, dang, I can't wait to start wearing this damn wig. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not putting no daggone weave in my hair. That's just extra hair making me hot. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was hard for me because I would walk around with a wig that was soaking wet, full of sweat before I would expose my natural coils. And to this day, I regret doing that. I'm suffering. I'm damaging my hair because now it's sweating out. I'm not giving my hair air and time to breathe. I'm just doing these things to myself because I feel society is going to look at me a different way and I'm going to feel that way, and I just try to avoid it. And like I always mention, like even with my corporate job, it's always been a thing for me. And the only thing that made me really embrace my natural hair and to stop wearing the wigs and weaves and braids or whatever it was that I had COVID. And COVID was the thing that got me out of it. It got me the excuse to say, you know what? I'm not going to wear this stuff anymore. No chemicals going in my hair. Nothing's going in I'm just going to wear my hair natural. I had COVID. I'm not going to, I don't want to go through anything because chemicals can have an effect on your body. And I do have health issues that has been affected, by taking medication, by chemicals. So why would I continue that? So I wore my natural hair under my wigs and weaves for about, I'm going to say oh my God, like 20 something years.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I get it. I understand. It's horrible to be able to have to hide what you are,
Yeah,
just to get through, you know? So
yeah.
on that same note, um as far as styling your hair, how comfortable with you are with that now? Like, and what type of styles do you usually wear?
The styles I would usually wear is like I would do my hot puff, or I'll just do like a natural fro or something like that. Or sometimes I'll try to just like do two strand twist all around my hair and I'll wear it out like that for like a couple of days. But now it just got to the point to where I was just not happy with my hair at all. I was just so, I would say, so sad, and just felt like the same thing you were saying with like society and how other people would think. It would be like, no, I don't want to do that. I mean, I feel like it's, it's pretty. I feel like it's cute on me, but then again, I started thinking about other people and what people might say, what people might think, and that played a big part in why I just cut all of it off.
Okay.
I think that's why. And now with me doing that, I still got compliments, but it was like I have no hair. Like, how can you tell me I'm pretty and I got no hair? But I'm learning how to embrace it, and I'm being happy with it.
Well, you pretty. I don't care. I saw you and you're very beautiful. So
Thank
I just
you.
feel like people just to say that something is going with our ego when it comes to our hair. It's
Yeah.
for it to make it easy for us to feel some type of negative way about it. You could just say one thing, like even with in other episodes, you would hear stories about people saying things about their hair, and it bothers them and it makes you change a little bit. But then for some people, it may not. It may be like, oh, I don't care what you say. I want to do what I want to do. But that's not a lot of us, because that wasn't me. I would be totally offended even at work. You know, I just felt some kind of way and I felt uncomfortable. Even with wearing the wigs, I was like, somebody's going to ask me, they're going to ask me if it's my hair or if it's a wig. And I don't know if you remember, back in the days, even our own kind, they would say things like that, like, that's not your real hair. Okay, so what?
Yeah.
You look back now, you're like, I can't believe I let them say that to me. Like, so what? It's not my hair. It's on my head. It's my hair. And I remember that used to be the response that everybody would give when people would say that's not your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you said you have children, right?
Yes, I have a daughter.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Um, since you are natural, are we going to let your daughter be natural? We're going to let her grow into it?
Yes. It is.
Yes.
I love it. Yes, I am. She is 100% natural.
Good, good.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not doing nothing to it. We're gonna grow her hair very long and beautiful and just gonna be natural.
Okay, and what is her name?
Yamari.
Okay, say Yamari comes home one day from school. Mommy, I want to wear my hair straightened. I want curls. I want to straighten out. Can you do my hair like that? A girl in my class has her hair like that, and I want my hair like that. What's your response to Yamari?
I would tell her basically like you shouldn't want to do your hair a certain type of way because someone else has their hair like that. You should want to be different, but I mean if that's something she wants and she wants to try it out and see if she like it, we could do that. But I would still let her know at the end of the day, your natural hair is very beautiful. You are very beautiful with your natural curls and your natural puff.
I love that answer. Thank you for that answer. I love it. Okay, the fact that you are going to instill in her that she's beautiful being natural,
Mhm.
that really gets to me, and I love that. So that's one more child we can add onto the list who's going to continue the natural hair journey. I'm so
Yeah,
excited. I'm so excited.
yeah.
I'm excited for her, you, all of us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So are you still
And a
with
boyfriend.
her father, or You moved on?
No.
Okay.
I'm in the we're both in different relationships now.
Okay. So since you are in a relationship, were you natural when you got with this person already, or did you turn natural when you were with this person?
I was natural when I got with this person, and he loved every bit of it, but I hated every bit of it.
Oh no. I wonder if he
It
helped you get over
was.
that.
He did though. Like with this last part of me cutting my hair off, and he was just like, "Babe, what the hell?" I was like, "I don't know what happened. It was, I don't know. Me and Taylor was trying to figure out something to do to my hair. I just felt like, you know what? This is not it. I'm just gonna cut all my hair off." And he was like, "Well, I'm gonna let you know you're still beautiful. I don't want you to hide it because you are very beautiful. And I love your hair just the way it is." And that kind of made me cry because I was like, I'm glad I got somebody I'm glad I have people around me that's telling me that I'm beautiful even after I cut all my hair off. And it's giving me the more motivation and confidence that I need myself.
Absolutely. You're a lucky girl. Everybody don't get that. They don't get that support. And that's beautiful. Yeah. Is there anyone else in your family that wears their hair natural?
Besides me and Taylor, I would say we have a few people.
Okay.
I would say like cousin wise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Well, that's good. All right. So let's talk about experience with hair discrimination, or anybody, a white person, maybe that came up to you, approached you, asked you about your hair that made you feel uncomfortable, or tried to touch your hair or made comments about your hair. Have you experienced any situations like that?
Yes, I have. This is so crazy. I was at Walmart, and this white lady, she just came up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, is that your hair?" And I was like, yes. "Oh my God, that's really your hair." And she reached to touch my hair, and I pulled my head back. I was like, "Please don't touch my hair. Don't do that. Don't touch my hair." The fact that you just walked up to me and just steady asking me, "Is this my hair?" That's what's driving me, because you can clearly see that it is, and you're now trying to touch my hair. You're going over the board now. You're doing too much at this point.
Right.
Like, don't do that. Like, that made me very uncomfortable. But I didn't let it ruin my day, because I just didn't let that get to me at all, because that wasn't my first time going through that. So it was just like, yeah, I really don't care. I'm gonna just shake this off. But the fact that you just tried to touch my hair really blew me.
Yeah. And it could be traumatizing for anybody, even if you think somebody's trying to touch it. It's like, because it's a trauma from the last time. So yeah. I get it. Wow.
That's why I can say, that's why now I can say I don't, that's why I'm pretty much glad that I learned how to do hair my own, because that I can do my own hair and I won't have to let nobody else in my head.
Okay.
Because I had plenty of times where I don't let other people in my head, and either my hair was either uneven or I was missing some hair or something. So now I'm just happy I can do my own hair.
Good for you. So what's your style game like? I know you got some.
Yeah. Everything. I done tried short hairstyles. I having long hair, and I loved it. But I was just trying it just to give it a try. I done done the pixie cuts. I done the bobs. I have done the traditional sew-ins, the ponytails, braided ponytails.
Wow.
Frontal ponytails, everything you can think of. Braids that's all the way down to your ankles, all of it. I done did it all.
Wow, look at you. That's nice. I like that.
Yes.
What is your hair texture for A, B, C? What is it?
4A.
4A. Okay. Yeah, so you can do all of those nice styles. Me, I'm super coily. If there was a 4D, I would call me a 4D. It's like my thing, they so tight and coily. It's like, and that's the problem I had when I first came out. I'm like, I look like I have a little bit of hair, but if I blow it out, it's like woof. Like, but I don't like to wear my hair blowed out, and I don't really like to wear my hair straight. I like the texture it is, but when I style it, I just wish it stayed curly because it only gives me like 2 days, 3 days at most. And now
Mhm.
and then it's looking like poof. I don't know if you remember seeing me on camera, but it looks like it's like poofy. And it's when
Uh-huh.
I first do it, it's really coiled and textured, but it is what it is. I still love my hair, so I'm not gonna trip. All right. So tell me, what did we miss? I want to know if there's anything else that you want to touch upon. Let's talk a little bit about what's been going on with you and your hair and your situations. Let's talk about that.
Um,
Take your time.
it hasn't been too bad with my hair journey, but it has been bad. I
Okay.
would say the worst it has ever gotten was while I was pregnant, because when I went through that stage and dealing with what I was dealing with her father and just me just being emotional every day, I really didn't have the time to just do my hair. I would say I was just too out of it. Like my pregnancy wasn't just good. So I never really just cared about my hair during that time. And I think that's what made it worse. I was very emotional, and that's where it started for me just wanting to cut my hair every time. Like since then, I could say I probably cut my hair 3 times since then.
Really?
Yes, I would say I cut my hair 3 times since then. I done dyed it in between the journey, cut it all off again, started all over. But this time, I would say this is the first time I have ever just cut all the way complete off Jada Pinkett style. Like,
Really?
yes,
Wow.
I don't know, but
Do you think that was those emotional cuts?
yes,
Okay.
very, because I loved my hair. Like, do not get me wrong, I loved my hair so bad. I
Okay.
loved it. Like my big afros and my blown out hairstyles, or even if it's just a wash and go, I love those on me because that was all I would wear. And I looked it beautiful. And I had some really good spongy, curly type hair. And
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't like it anymore. Like going through pregnancy, I permed my hair. Then once my perm went out and my natural came back in, it was super thick. I was just like, yep, this is not for me. And ever since then, I've been cutting it. But I'm trying to find my way back to my long, natural, spongy, curly hair that I had.
Okay. All right. So it's time for you to get it to grow back to a length that you want to have it
Yeah.
grow to. Okay. Yeah. That's why I asked you if it was emotional because it did sound like it was, but I just wanted to make sure. That's interesting. Okay. And I can see that because like we was talking about before, length. It has
Yeah.
to be emotional because length was very important to us. So the fact that you would cut it off definitely has to be related to some type of emotions. I'm sorry you was going through that. You probably still look
Yeah.
so pretty. Yeah, you probably look so
Yes, we
pretty.
done dyed it today. So I'm gonna try to take some pictures and see how I feel. But I'm loving it so far. I really am. I really am
Oh,
loving it. And I can say I can see myself if it's just a night where I decide to go out, I can see
mhm.
myself just wearing my hair just like that. I would
Nice.
have to put on a hat on or a do rag or anything. I think I'll just wear it out like that and it
Hmm.
just be how it is.
Girl, I'm so happy for you. I wish I had those nerves. Yeah.
I done finger waves before. That was my first time doing finger waves. I was shocked, but I loved it so much.
Hmm.
I loved it. I don't know why, but finger waves was just my go-to style with my short hair when I did the pixie cut.
Hmm.
Finger waves, and the sides would be cut down, and I would have like curls in the front of my head. And that's how I wore it half the time, my short style. But now, yeah, it's just gone.
Yeah. That's nice. It's like you found your style. Like that's probably your top style from how I'm hearing you talk. From that's what
Yeah.
it sounds like. Okay. Nice. Um, Let me ask you. I know I told you to continue talking, but I'm interested in if there's anything in the media that has ever struck a nerve with you that has to do with our race, especially our hair. Any type of discrimination on social media, TV, anywhere.
Yes, there was a time where on the internet, on Instagram, and I would just notice how some of my friends or some of the people that I connected with through Instagram, how they were not loving their natural hair. Like I heard everybody like, with me doing hair, hey girl, I need you to do my hair. I don't like my natural hair. This is frustrating me. I need you to do something to it, please. Or it would just be females I could see just cutting their hair off, doing the same thing I was doing. And when I got back to that state of where, okay, you know what, our natural hair is very beautiful. We need to learn how to embrace this, because all we've been doing this past summer, this past school year, is we just been wearing wigs and braids. It's time for our hair to just breathe a little. So I decided to throw a party for natural hair, and I wanted all the girls to just come with a natural hairstyle. Didn't matter if it was two puff balls, been two knots, two strand twists, if they had dreads, anything. I just wanted everybody to come out and just wear their natural hair and be around a lot of other females that has a story. But we had to cut it out because of quarantine, of COVID. So I couldn't get to do it. So I said, hopefully when I get back to that state that I was in with my natural hair and how happy I was, I am going to bring that party back up, and I'm going to go through it completely, because that's where I believe half of us females went wrong, is when we found the wigs. Yes. And we just didn't like our real hair. We just hid under those wigs. That's what I feel like.
Yeah. That was a good idea, to throw a natural hair party. I went to a natural hair. Did I go to? Yeah, I went to a natural hair party, and I think it was a family member, like an auntie or somebody, that threw it. This was a while back. And the people was wearing, they weren't wearing their natural hair. One person had, what did she have? Her hair was straightened. It was her natural hair, but she pressed and curled it. She didn't wear her natural texture. And then there was someone else there that wore, those fancy goddess braids. It's a natural style.
Yeah.
But I guess I was expecting people to come like in their natural hair and wearing your hairstyle, just your natural hair, not putting hair in it or anything. I thought that's the kind of party it was. But when I went, I found that I was like one of maybe 3 people that just wore their textured hair. Like some people just wore braids, it was like different things going on. I guess my expectations was just like straight natural and do what you got to do with it.
That would have, I would say that would have been my expectation too, just your natural hair.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that wasn't just me. Because I was like, well, dag, if they get their hair done up like that, maybe I should have came like that, Right. You don't want to feel left out.
You don't want to feel left out.
But bad enough, it's a thing that when people want to say, stigmatize you for wearing your natural hair, even our own. So it's like, I don't want to feel any worse. And I did feel worse, but it's all right. I'm over it now. I wish I was the type of person I am now, how I'm embracing it and everything. But it was something to try. And I thought that would be the breakout point for me. But I think going there and seeing other women not doing it the way I expected, it just put me back in the same place I was before. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to wear it like this,
Yeah.
It's crazy how our minds just go. Well, I'm glad you shared that. I hate to hear those stories, but I know our audience wants to hear those stories.
With me starting over now, with me just being completely bald.
Okay. So you're completely bald right at this minute as we speak.
Now I would say like skin bald, but I'm bald. Like
yeah. So when did you cut it?
I cut it, I would say sometime last week.
Okay.
I cut it, and I was just in the mirror. My cousin Taylor, she was like, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna find something. And she left for like 3 seconds, and she came back, and my hair was going off my head.
Was she mad?
She was so Yes, she really was. And she was just looking at me. I was like, I don't know. She was like, how the hell did you cut your hair that fast? I don't
I
know.
could just imagine her looking at you.
I was like, well, the scissors right here. And it was on my mind heavy while you was doing it. Whenever you left this room, I was going to end up grabbing these scissors and just start cutting.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny.
And after we did it, she was like, well, this your last time cutting it because you're not cutting it no more. I was like, okay, I won't cut it no more.
And I know she probably was serious too.
She was very serious.
Okay. I know she was. So you said you use scissors. Now, when I'm thinking you all bald and you say I'm thinking of, what do you call those shaver things? Yeah, I'm thinking like a razor shaver or something to get it bald. Okay.
It's a, who wore this down? Who did this today? It's like cut really, really low.
Okay. Gotcha.
I would say like the Jada Pinkett, like a boy haircut.
Okay.
And we just dyed it red.
Oh, that sounds cute.
It
Dang.
It is. I'm kind of loving it, but I got to get to that point to where I can just walk outside and be perfectly okay with.
Girl, just do it. It's like your first kill. Like once you kill, you can keep on killing, girl. Go, just do it. Even if you just walk out there for a little bit and watch after that. It's that first feeling. It's over. It's over.
I know it is. I gotta get that confidence, but it's like I told Taylor today. I said, "Look, I gotta have my lashes. My face can't be bare. It can't be. I gotta have something on my face. Like I gotta feel something else. Because me just going out like this, I'm not gonna feel it."
Keke, so whatever it takes. Yeah. Whatever it takes. If you have to go out with your whatever makeup, do it. Do your first kill. I call it the first kill. And watch, it's going to be so much more easier after that.
You know what? I think I'm going to do it tomorrow because I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. And I do have an interview to go to tomorrow. So I think I might just do that.
Yes. I will. You got to reach out to me and let me know how it went and how you feel and everything. You have to.
Okay. I will.
That's going to be so dope. I love it.
I don't be nervous, but I can't
get over it. Yeah, you'll get over it. Yep. We big girls. We can do it. That's right. Well, this is a good one, Keke. I really appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your story, all the things, all the emotional cuts that you've gone through. I'm like super happy for you. And the fact that Yamari is going to be able to continue this ride and push it through forward for us, for women that's coming up now. I just have a feeling that natural hair is going to be the thing coming up from our next generation and on moving forward. We struggled, so we're still struggling, but our children, we're going to make sure that they don't. So again, I'm glad that you're doing it. I really appreciate it. And I just also want to say that, how should I say this? I actually want to say I envy you, because the fact that I don't understand those cuts was emotional. I could never do it. I still have stigma anxiety. I just feel like that length thing is something, but I know it looks really pretty on you because emotional or not, I have a feeling that you like the way that it looks. So girl, go out there and strut your stuff, be you, natural born sister, and do whatever it is you got to do to make it happen.
Yes, I will.
Excellent. So it was a pleasure talking to you, and I will chat with you soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Keke. Tell that story without hesitation, sis. I believe you will be one of the ones showing others how real it is to be natural. Realness in her struggle or not, she will be the natural queen teaching and showing others. It's okay to embrace who you are as a Black woman. She will handle it through support because she has that. She has it from her significant other. She also has the will and the drive to teach her daughter how important it is to rock her natural hair unapologetically. So this will definitely hold her accountable. So look, Keke has selected the Natural Born Sister tee with logo, and as she should, because it fits her perfectly. As always, if you like listening to Keke's story and loved it as much as I did, hit her up on social media and let her know. The information to her social media is in the show notes of this podcast. Let her know how you felt and encourage her from one sister to another. And don't forget, we are bringing you kinky content in the kitchen every Wednesday on your favorite cast. So don't miss out. I'm off this.
That's all for today. What feelings are you left with? Do you have questions, thoughts? DM on IG at Natural Born Sister and let's talk about it. Oh, and don't forget to leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. They really help us grow and reach more women who need company on their hair journey. We'll chat it up next week.